Seattle, we are ready for our second playoff game as the Ghost Ballers take on Trilogy for a trip to the Big 3 championship game, where the winner of this game will face Richard Lewis and the three-headed monsters who defeated Power in our first semifinal. Our lineups are brought to you by Degree Deodorant. It won't let you down. And a look at Trilogy.
What we all know about Al Harrington and Rashad McCann's the best duo, but it's James White, the guy that kind of fills in the gap, so to speak, and beats you inside, outside, and an excellent defensive player.
Meanwhile, a look at the Ghost Ballers, captained by Mike Bibby.
And it begins and ends with Mike Bibby. His ability to run the pick and roll and make plays out of it is going to be paramount. Ghost Ballers wants to win this game.
So Trilogy versus the Ghost Ballers. Week 6, these two teams faced each other in Dallas. Trilogy winning it 51-36. First shot of the day, 9-5 is what they call him. Ivan Johnson gets it to fall.
And Ivan, don't be surprised to knock down a 15, 18-foot jump shot.
McCants lost it, picked up by Johnson. Johnson exploding to the basket with a right-hand finger roll. No. McCants with the rebound. White, McCants, Harrington. Here's Al Harrington, guarded by Johnson. Harrington, step back jump shot, pure.
You know they're gonna give us the best one. Stay in control. Bring it in. Same play.
Ricky Davis, Mike Bibby. Pick and roll. Johnson slips to the basket, and Bibby throws it out of bounds.
Al Harrington right here, knowing that Mike Bibby was going to reach, again, going to his left hand, able to step back, clear enough space to get a soft, off-balance shot.
Harrington drives, reverse, and good. It's going to be a tough guard for Ivan Johnson.
Well, it is, because you got to guard him out, Al Harrington on the perimeter, but also he's savvy enough on the block to beat you.
And Harrington called for the foul as Davis had to step to the basket. Ricky Davis, 13 points last week in their win over the three-headed monsters in Los Angeles, 50-33, which secured their spot into the playoffs. Davis has had a fine Big 3 season, double figures in his last 6 games. Had a career high 23 points twice. McCants. Quick turn. Harrington again, and he's fouled.
The thing that Harrington is doing here, instead of going physical to physical right now, he's using his quickness. He's catching the ball on the move, or he's going quick, knowing that Ivan Johnson wants to play right here. The quick move, Ivan wants to bump. Harrington is using his quickness.
Harrington averages 16 points a game on the season. Double figures in 7 of 8. Adds a free throw, that's 2.
Need to stop right now. Let's go.
6 points already for Al Harrington. Here's a pick and roll, Davis. Pull up 3. Good. Pretty Ricky, what they call him.
But that's good recognition, because that time Al Harrington on the switch with James White didn't step up off the screen and open it up for him.
Here's the kick. White downtown. And James White hits a 3.
I know that Al may be the MVP, but James White's importance is so huge for this Trilogy team.
Davis driving, stops, tied up. His dribble, alive again. Here's for 4. Davis! Now that could be the wrinkle. Will the Ghost Ballers take that 4-point shot? Mike Bibby has been terrific this year. McCants on the drive with the left hand, no. Bibby. Davis, quick fire. And James White knocks it out of bounds. Let's see.
Keep in mind, this is at the end of the shot clock, and Ricky Davis is able to square up. You talked about Mike Bibby being able to use a 4-point shot. He leads the league in shots made, and it's interesting that Mike said, again, I'd rather take the 4 or get to the basket. I'm not really looking for three-point shot.
Kenyon Martin comes in for Al Harrington. Marcus Banks comes in for Mike Bibby for the Ghost Ballers. Ghost Ballers in purple. Trilogy in red. Banks from Las Vegas. Played at UNLV, tied up by McCants. Interesting story on Marcus Banks. He's getting ready to run for the Nevada State Senate at 35 years old. Here's Banks driving. Woo. What a collision between McCants and Banks.
He's making the contact.
Well, the beauty about this is that Marcus Banks has always been attacking guard up the dribble. And now with Trilogy, early in this game, 10-9 Ghost Ballers, 4 fouls on Trilogy.
Banks, mid-range jump shot. From 16, no. Kenyon Martin with a rebound. McCants has also had an MVP-type season. Inside, nice position. Johnson fouled from behind by Martin. I love the pace of this game, Jim.
Well, I love it too, and I love the quick decision here. Get to the corner, clear space. Ivan Johnson able to keep Kenyon Martin on his backside. Then you get it inside. That's how you can beat this Trilogy team, if you react quickly after a good defensive play.
Ivan Johnson
Just look at it, please. All right. Box out, y'all. Let's go.
has a free throw. Johnson had 12 against the Monsters last week. 8 points already. 12-9 Ghost Ballers. McCants. Foul. And one.
Yo, shot.
Rick Mahorn wanted to clear this weak side, the strong side, space to have one-on-one with Rashad McCants on the smaller Marcus Banks. And that time, Marcus got caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
McCants adds a free throw. 3-point play. 12 up.
By yourself, Jay White.
Go by.
And you can feel the intensity on the floor, folks. These guys are locked and loaded. Davis has hit a 4 already. Cross-court Banks to the bucket, wrapped it around. Ivan Johnson lays it in.
Well, and you got to know who you're playing regardless of Marcus Banks. More reluctant not to take a jump shot, would rather put it on the deck. So when you're closing out to him, you got to force him to shoot the ball.
Allen Iverson said Marcus Banks was the toughest man to defend him during his days in the NBA, and White now throws it away. Is there more pressure on Trilogy now that they're in the playoffs?
How you feel?
Undefeated?
Well, that's where all the pressure is in particular, because now you're the team to beat. You're the team that everyone considers is going to win the championship. And my whole thing is keep the pressure on them. Force them to be uncomfortable all game, because that pressure can force Trilogy to maybe do some things they're not accustomed to doing late in game situations.
Here's McCants, denied on the baseline, stolen away by Bibby. Bibby up top, Joe Smith, former first overall pick in the NBA draft out of Maryland. Banks off the heel, loose, James White. Martin turns to the basket, lays it in.
And that time, Joe Smith just has to play solid defense first, too, for Kenyon Martin. Just play solid and behind him. Don't give it up.
Bibby driving, hangs, and banks it down. By Bibby, barrel-chested. Father Henry, UCLA star, former coach at USC. White for 3.
Okay. Look, give me
Bibby.
Go to work, Bibby. Go to work. Attack.
Top of the arc.
Now.
Dribble drive on Martin, and he's fouled.
There you go. They slow-footed.
Who you got?
Deion Glover will now come in for Rashard McCants.
Go get it. Go get him now.
Right.
Stop.
Al Harrington back in. He'll take out White.
Good work, Ron. Good work.
Mike Bibby. Won the Big 3 assist type. Had an assist-to-turnover ratio of better than 2.5 to 1. 18-14. Davis, baseline, Smith, and good. Trilogy better watch out. They look flat.
They do. They do. And you always have to match the energy of the opposing team that's coming against you. If you don't early on, you're just going to feed into the confidence. Ghost ball.
Glover. Bibby with the rebound. Now Davis. Drives. Kicks. Bibby, rise and fire. And hits. Mike Bibby makes it a 23-14 game. Ghost Ballers 2 points away from halftime. Harrington, double team. Passes out of it. Glover's got to hit these, and does.
Well, he makes him pay for it. You're going to force the ball out of Al Harrington's hand, and Deion Glover made Ghost Ballers pay that time.
You just wonder, has Rick Mahorn over-substituted early? His team down 23-17 with no rhythm. Time for our Big 3 moment, sponsored by Ciroc. Let's get it. Down for 4, Mike Bibby. Bibby, will he try another one from Curryland? And hits! One shot by Bibby. Bibby for 4 from Curryland again. 4-pointer for Bibby. Uh-oh.
You called it. Yes, you called it.
Mike Bibby, the captain of the Ghost Ballers. 7 points. Perfect from the field to start.
I don't want anybody else to score. By yourself, Glove.
Bibby driving on Glover, gets to the basket and lays it in. He just flew right by it. And we're at halftime. And a surprise score at the break, folks. Trilogy, the only undefeated team in the Big 3. In the semifinals, down to the Ghost Ballers, 25-17.
And the strategy of Coach Gervin's team is to drive Trilogy, knowing that they don't have the foot speed, in particular on the perimeter, to stay with the guards of Ghost Ballers, and it's working in the first half, Gus.
25-17, the score at the break. We'll return to Key Arena after this. You're watching the Big 3 playoffs exclusively on FS1.